this could be a really interesting opportunity to talk a little bit about the Hollywood econ of it all, because this is a very fascinating case study. No matter how you slice it, none of this is adding up. So in television, we have something called the upfronts that happen every year in May. It's when all of Hollywood gets together and the networks present their upcoming programming slates to advertisers. It's your one shot to lock in as many ad dollars for your studio for the upcoming TV season as possible. So every studio, management company, agency, brand builds their calendar around it because it tells you where the money is going for the next year. If you know a show is going to end, what you would normally do is announce it during the TV upfronts for a very strategic reason. The idea is that you're celebrating it, right? You're saying, this is going to be our final season. We're pulling out all the stops. We're putting all this extra money into production value, and you would be stupid as an advertiser not to want to invest, get your brand alongside The Late Show with Stephen Colbert for this one last time before we wipe it from our slates completely. But the fact that the upfronts just happened 6 weeks ago and they just sold a season of the show business as usual creates a level of kind of distrust with advertisers, you know, and that's not a good space to be in Hollywood. So when the explanation they give is just financial reasons, you can see where everybody around town is like, okay, but that you just screwed yourself over. Like this, you're creating the financial reasons. And a little inside baseball here, if you've worked in Hollywood for more than 5 minutes, you know that you do not announce this kind of thing in July. Like the trades are basically just box office numbers and Comic-Cons during the summer. Hollywood is kind of shut down. Like people go on vacation and development doesn't start ramping back up until early September. So when you make a move this big outside of the circadian rhythm of Hollywood, then it tells you one of two things. Either A, you want to bury the news, or B, you had no choice. And then, like I mentioned in my last video, add on top of that the fact that The Late Show with Stephen Colbert was the highest rated of all of the late night TV programming, and it's the only one that had a growing audience. Why on earth would that be your first cut for cost cutting? So yeah, if you want to make it about business and finances, fine, but at least make it make sense. Because when you start adding in all the political chaos to it all, the Trump lawsuit against CBS that started in November, the fact that Skydance has been trying to pitch their way into this merger since early 2024, and then the whole sloppy ending to that lawsuit, which, let's just call it what it is, extortion. The extortion that Shari Redstone just went through and then paid out. Like the whole thing just is so messy, and that is not something you typically want during an FCC like merger. In a lot of ways, I know that kind of leaves you with more questions probably than answers, but the point is that there's no one clean answer here. There's a lot going on. It's very complicated, and I think that that's kind of by design, because this is not how you do business, or at least it's not how you do business well.